Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zalfa Nurul and my friend usually call me Zalfa. I'm from Chemistry Class A, Faculty of Science and Technology. Okay, and here I will explain about wastewater treatment plant. The water we use today is water that has existed since ancient times or can be called inherited water. The difference is the water quality of each generation. Therefore, we must maintain the current water so that it can be used for the next generation, one of which is by utilizing wastewater treatment. All wastewater from activities in households, industries, and public places is usually no longer used, so that wastewater doesn't damage the environment. It is necessary to carry out proper treatment according to its characteristics. In general, wastewater can be identified based on its physical, chemical, and bacteriological characteristics. If you look at its chemical characteristics, wastewater has a mixture of inorganic chemicals and organic substances. The nature of wastewater when it comes out of the surge is alkaline, but after a while it will become acidic. This is due to the decomposition process of the organic matter. When wastewater turns acidic, an unpleasant odor will be smelled. And how important is water for life? One of the daily basic needs of living beings in this world that cannot be integral is water. Not only important for humans, water is a very important part, important for living beings, both animals and bodies. Without water, there is no possibility to life in the core world because all living things really need water to survive. Humans might live for a few days, but humans will not survive for several days if not drinking because it is absolute that most substances. The building block of the human body consists of 73% is water. So, it's nothing new if life in this world can continue due to the availability of sufficient water. In an effort to maintain their survival, humans try to provide sufficient water for itself. Therefore, water is very functional and plays a role in the life of living things in the world this earth. It is important for us as humans to always preserve and keep the water we use sustainable by doing good water management such as saving, not throwing garbage and waste which can make water pollution so that it can disrupt the existing ecosystem. Water pollutants may originate from point sources or from dispersed sources. A pond surge pollutant is one that receives water from a single pipeline or channel, such as a sewage discharge or outfall pipe. Dispersed sources are broad, unconfined areas from which pollutants enter a body of water. Surface runoff from farms, for example, is a dispersed surge of pollutions carrying animal waste, fertilizers, pesticides, and silt into nearby streams. Urban storm water drainage, which may carry sand and other green materials, petroleum residues from automobiles, and road-dazing chemicals, is also considered a dispersed surge because of the many locations at which it enters local streams or lakes. Pollutants are easier to control than dispersed surge pollutants since they flow to a single location where treatment processes can remove them from the water. Such control is not usually possible over pollutants from bird sources, which cause a large part of the overall water pollution problem. Dispersed surge water pollution is best reduced by enforcing proper land use plans and development standards. Of water pollutants include pathogenic organisms, oxygen-demanding yeasts, plant nutrients, synthetic organic chemicals, inorganic chemicals, microplastics, sediments, radioactive substances, oil, and heat. Sewage is the primary source of the first three types. Farms and industrial facilities are also sources of some of them. Sediment from eroded topsoil is considered a pollutant because it can damage aquatic ecosystems, and heat, particularly from power plant cooling water, is considered a pollutant because of the adverse effect it has on dissolved oxygen levels and aquatic life in rivers and lakes. Wastewater can be treated in various ways. Here are some ways to deal with wastewater in the environment. The first, water is pumped into the air. The second, water filter, and then balance tanks, balancing the composition and volume of water, and then addition of microbes, provided that is not too heavy to be processed by these microbes, and then clarifier, sediment is taken, then dried and drained, and then added disinfectant, trials of living things in the immediate environment, and the last, testing. What is often said to be waste is polluted water. It is not allowed to be discharged directly into the environment but must be treated first. The following are the stages of wastewater treatment using the IPAL (Instalasi Pengolahan Air Limbah) system at a sugar factory, which has a very concentrated waste character. The first step is inlet. Wastewater enters the machine. The second step is equalization, accommodate excessive amounts of waste. And then uniformity. And then cooling. And the fifth step is biological aeration, that microbes or decomposers. Aeration is contacting waste liquid with oxygen so that it is easily decomposed, easily degraded, which utilizes sunlight. Waste from inorganic compounds decomposed by microbes, both inorganic, also undergoes simplification of precipitation, addition of nutrients for the maintenance of bacteria. And then clarifier or clarify, separated between sediment and water. The residual sludge in this process can be used again in the biological aeration process. Next, precipitation, the process of deposition between a solid and a liquid. And next, slow sand filter, replacement of ions that are not well bonded to the sand. Then there is a release of ions, ion substitution. In this process, absorption occurs. And then ligand or control, test pond that is usually filled with tilapia instead of catfish because catfish are strong fish against pollution. And the last, water matter. Water is analyzed whether the character of the water is suitable for disposal or not. Okay, thank you. Maybe that's enough for me. I'm sorry if there was mispronounced from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.